that happens here. Good for opening up the lungs, the bronchioles, the diaphragm. But what we're going to be using it for is to somewhat treat the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is one of the cranial nerves, and it's the only nerve that goes from the head and goes down into like the heart, the lungs, and into the digestive tract. The vagus nerve as far as rest and repair and function for these different parts of your physiology. But esoterically, the vagus nerve is tied to your heart being able to connect to the crown. Right, so your heart chakra being able to connect to the crown chakra, and then also vice versa. It's tied to when the soul or the Buddha nature or whatever it is of your tradition gives you some sort of direction or guidance. It's the channel that brings it down from your upper faculties and helps get it into the heart. And the reason why it's important for it to get into the heart is the top of your head, the forehead, the area between the eyebrows are all tied to like your higher soul or your higher Buddha nature, your Christ consciousness, whatever you would like to call it, right? The throat is this kind of thing that's like a bridge or an abyss. And then the heart down has to do with the incarnated soul or like your lower form, your lower nature, right? So it's basically a way for the soul, the higher soul, to get in pieces of information down into your everyday mind, into your everyday kind of physiology, into your everyday emotions, right? And so when you have an expansion of consciousness, depending on how you do it, a lot of how that happens is how activated and how developed this vagus nerve is, right? So even as you leave your body, energetically, how your consciousness is leaving the body and going up into the higher aspects, there's this little seed that pops out from the heart, and then it kind of travels the vagus nerve up into the head and then up out of your head, right? And so it's very important for the development of the heart. It's very important for the development of the crown. And you could say that the vagus nerve is very important for organizing your mind, right? If you think of like what is anxiety, what is fears, what are negative emotions, right? You can look at it from a physiological point of view, you can look at it from a psychological point of view, but if you look at it from the point of view of energetic anatomy and esoteric teachings, you actually have three brains, so to speak. You have the brain in your head, you have the brain in your gut, what some people call the second brain, and then you have a brain that they refer to as the root brain. It's not the root chakra, it's the root brain, and it's associated with the sex chakra, right? And it's not about sex. It's more about how you interact with your environment and with the collective. Like it has a lot to do with like social interactions and things like this. The information you get from the outside world, right? The second brain, the brain in the gut, has a lot to do with how you feel, right? Then you have the brain in your head, which is your thoughts and your ideas and your thought processes. And organizing the mind is basically you're trying to balance your awareness between the head, the solar, and the sex so that you're getting all three pieces of information. The sex chakra is very reactive, right? The solar plexus is all about feelings. Like if you're empathic, part of how that's happening is through your solar plexus, right? And then the brain is about all your thought processes, right? So you can still have thoughts in your brain, but primarily being driven by the solar plexus or that root brain, which is the sex chakra, which is more like, you know how when you get triggered, like when somebody like says something, you're like, and you get a little wound up. That is a reaction from the sex chakra that engages the adrenals, right? So if these three are balanced and in harmony, not only does things like that not happen as much, you become very innovative in your thought processes because you're getting all three pieces of information, right? So what starts to happen is you feel calmer and you're able to process all three pieces of information. You're not having the reactions or the feelings or the story in your head, and you just start kind of having what we call active clairvoyance. You're starting to turn on the intuition. Intuition is basically the harmonizing of those three, activates the forehead and the right side of your brain. So enough of me acting. Like, I don't know. I could yak all night, but let's do this. We're going to do a little experiment. There's the vagus nerve, and then there's this other nerve that is like kind of accelerates process. Accelerate your breathing, accelerate your heart rate, things like this. The vagus nerve is the part that pumps the brakes, right? So in esoteric teachings, there's this like cross on the base of your skull on the back that you try to develop in deeper inner practices. And part of what happens is you develop this thing where for like moments at a time, sometimes even several minutes, you start to develop what they call like the mystical breath or the inner breath or the spiritual breath. And all it means is the vagus nerve is no longer under control of the physiology, and it shifts to being temporarily under control of cerebral spinal fluid, like movement and circulation. And so what happens when that happens is all of a sudden you'll start to feel like, wow, I haven't breathed for like, feels like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Like your breath will start to change substantially. And so different traditions will call this by different names. Basically, when you do any sort of breath where you're moving your head back and forth, like so, they call it turtle breath, or like we call it Lama yoga. Different traditions will call it different things. You're doing things to the vagus nerve, but you're also stimulating cerebral spinal fluid movement and the potential for this union, at least temporarily, right? So you can have an inner experience. And so, Yogananda once said that without having this experience, one can't perceive their higher nature, one can't perceive the soul because you don't have the awareness, right? So even if you just have little temporary states of this, it starts to open up this channel where you start to pick up on things that are much greater than yourselves. And it almost starts like a transmission coming down to where things start coming through you. It opens up a kind of higher creativity, right? Like sometimes you're like, I don't want to go in this situation. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. I don't know what it is to do or whatever. And then you're in it and things are just flowing. People are asking you questions. You're like, I have no idea where that answer came from, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And then you start answering. It's this flow of information coming from higher faculties down through your nervous system, going from the crown, going down into the heart, and just kind of letting it rip, letting it flow, right? And so Hyssop actually used, in a very specific way, can have a bit of an impact on this area. It's very good for stimulating function in the medulla, and it's also good for helping to, like you could say, regulate the vagus nerve, and done in certain combinations with other things can kind of balance that aspect between the braking of the nervous system and the accelerating of the nervous system. When you start to go deeper into the tempering, the part that is like the accelerator component, your mind changes quite substantially. Like it becomes easier for you to put yourself into alignment with things going on around you, where the vagus nerve helps you to see those things, but when you work that other nerve, it starts to help you to go, I need to put myself in the right place at the right time, and I kind of know how to do it. You know what I mean? It's not logical thinking. It's more this we call it active clairvoyance, but like intuitive thinking that's very practical or realistic, not like all in the ethers, but like I can see what needs to be done, right? I can see where I need to be. And if somebody says, why, you go, I don't know, I just know, right? I can see this is what needs to happen. Validation usually comes after the fact, right? It's like what you would call inner guidance. And so let's give everybody a bottle. So we have a bottle of hyssop. This particular hyssop, there's hyssop from all different areas. This one's from Croatia. And so it's like kind of like wine. You know, there's one from Spain, there's one from Bulgaria, there's one from England. This is one of my more favorite ones. So we thought we'd give you guys a gift of Croatian hyssop. So like I said, you can use it for a wide range of respiratory issues. Good for meditation. Good for just clearing your head. And we're going to use it to go through and do a little practice. Regina, how long do I have tonight? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. If you need to go, you need to go. But like, you know, sometimes we just do a thing till whenever. And so, part of what we're going to do is first just understand the nature of like how to work with the oil. So before you really even do anything with the oils, just maybe put the bottle down for a second and just move your arms around for a second. Like feel your arms, feel your wrist, feel your forearm. Just feel how your arm feels. Okay, you're just comparing the two. Like you're just going, how does my left one feel? How's my right one feel? Right now, open up your oil and just take a few long, slow, deep breaths. And, you know, I would say it's not the prettiest smell. It's a little bit medicinal, but it's still, I feel that it has a very pleasant smell. But yeah. So you can put the bottle down for a second, and then we're just establishing a baseline right now, right? So move your arms around, and things might feel a bit better, but it still feels relatively even, right? It still feels relatively even, right? So this is what I'd like you to do. Take your bottle and just put like a little tiny dab, like right on the wrist, right on the palm, and right on the elbow. Like, you know, just on the crease of the elbow. Let's do the left one just so we're all on the same page. If you already did the other one, don't worry about it. But we're wanting to do just one arm. Okay, just one arm.
The palm, the wrist,
and the elbow. Yeah. Okay. So just let it incubate for a moment. Now, move your arms around. Do your arms feel even right now? No. You have a favorite arm and a not so favorite arm right now, right? You're like, I hope we balance this out. Otherwise, I'm walking in circles the rest of the night, right? Like you can feel that there is a physical effect, right? There's a physical effect, but there's also an energetic effect. But you can feel a little dab here and there, and your arm kind of opens up, right? The amount of energy moving through the arm happens, but physiologically it kind of starts to shift and change some of the lymphatic movement in the arm, starts to reduce what we call muscle memory in a particular area. So it's very good to unwind muscle memory from old injuries or postural misalignments. It can do a lot of different things. But I do this because I would like you to also experience what it's like without putting it on the area, but to direct it, right? So on the other arm, you're not going to put the oil. What you're going to do is you're going to begin inhaling, and you're going to put your awareness on the palm of that hand, the other arm. So whatever arm you did not put oil on, inhale the oil with your awareness just on your palm. You're just thinking of that palm. Your awareness is on your palm, just like if you were looking at your hand right here. It just happens that you're breathing at the same time. If you want to look at it, you can look at it. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. Now, keep inhaling, but now move your awareness to the wrist. You can do the front of the wrist, you can do front and back, but your awareness is simply on the wrist. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Okay, now maybe just let it go for a second. Give your lungs a little break. Okay, now continue to inhale, and your awareness is on the elbow, like in the fold, in the front of the elbow, like where you put the oil on the other arm. Mm. And just for giggles, how about we go to the armpit? Keep your awareness on your armpit of that arm and take long, slow, deep breaths. Okay, now let it go and move the arms around. One had the topical application, one had just the inhalation, but directed to that area. How does that feel? Can you feel like they feel relatively even? Sometimes even the inhalation makes it even feel a little bit better, right? So anybody want to share a feedback or what they experienced? No, you don't have to, but
I feel more open with the inhalation.
More open with the inhalation. I kind of snuck in the armpit on that one where we didn't put oils on that one, so that's my little trick. So it does make it feel a little better usually. But the thing that I'm trying to show here is, remember when we first started, I had you inhale and it wasn't one-sided, right? You might have felt better, but it was even. Here, you're starting to put your awareness on certain parts of your body. So the oil or the energy of the oil is very directable, right? Just like if you go, what oil do I use for a symptom? What you're saying is, I would like to direct this oil to this particular problem. Here, you're starting to go, okay, I would like to direct the energy of the plant to a particular area of the body to produce a certain result, right? As you go through and inhale, you are getting those molecules that produce the scent. They're going into your respiratory tract, they're hitting your lung tissue, and they're starting to enter into your bloodstream, right? So you're getting the physical effect, but you're directing the energetic part wherever you're wanting to direct it, right? So if you want to go to the lungs, if you want to go to the liver, you still want to follow the rules and laws of physiology, but you can also follow the rules and laws of energy practices as well. And you can kind of marry the two, right? So this would work for emotions, this would work for thoughts, this would work for all kinds of things, right? Indigestion. Hyssop might not be the best choice, but you could do indigestion. A lot of times you can just treat like topically or a little bit with inhalation with like ginger or lemon. Yeah.
What if you have digestive issues that are unhealthy?
Yeah, that still could help. If the digestive tract has been really plagued for a while, you might want to use like peppermint. The issue with peppermint that I would say is that Don't use the peppermint like a couple hours before you go to bed because it relaxes the sphincter in the stomach, and it will relax it so much that when you lay down, stomach acid will go up the esophagus. So use it during the day, but like 2 or 3 hours before bed, stop using it. But it could also knock it out. Yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hit some target spots just to see the impact on how it makes you feel, deepen your ability to relax or hit this nerve that pumps the brakes, right? And then also deepen your ability to have that experience of the vagus nerve kind of being under control of the cerebral spinal fluid circulation. So I'm going to direct you through a little oil protocol. Then we're going to do a little meditation with a little mantra, and then I'm going to do a little healing on you, and we're going to smell some oil. We're just going to start like going back and forth, and who knows what's going to happen. Okay, so you can think about something that you would like to address if you'd like. You don't have to, but you can. You can just check in with things so you know where you're at. Like you go, okay, I have this amount of stress during the week. I have this situation that's really super annoying. This person's upset at me, you know, whatever it is. And you might not be necessarily treating that situation, but you're treating yourself and you're seeing, how do I respond to these situations, right? How do I respond, right? So just close your eyes for a moment and just kind of check in. Check in with yourself, look inward, see what's up. Notice your body, feel your body, like feel whatever tension is in your body. It could be your normal spots. It might just be that as you're sitting here, you go, I feel a little something in my chest. I feel it in my back. I feel it in my legs. I feel it in my jaws. And if you don't really feel anything, that's okay. It's just good to like check in with the body a little bit. Okay, so now one of the other benefits with Hyssop is that it is somewhat relaxing to the diaphragm, right? Somewhat relaxing to the diaphragm. And so the diaphragm is at the bottom of your ribs and is involved in respiration, like elevating the rib cage and, you know, inhalation, exhalation, right? Now, here's the issue with the diaphragm. Well, there can be several issues, but the one I'm going to talk about, that when the diaphragm is tight, there's a direct correspondence to the little muscles that go along the spine, along your vertebrae. They are like in a reactionary state, they tighten up. If you relax the diaphragm, those little muscles along the spine, they're called the multifidi, they'll actually start to open up. So even going through and working with Hyssop and deepening the breath will actually change the pressure on the spine. Like it changes the muscle tension in the spine. So it's not necessarily going to be a cure for like if you have a herniated disc, but it helps, right? So here's the thing. When you have sharp stabbing pain, right? Radiating pain, which is neurological pain, within a few weeks, a direct correspondence to that is you start to develop bronchial spasms. Basically, you start to develop a short, rapid breath, which this amplifies the pain, and it starts to increase tension on the spinal cord, which exaggerates the problem. So one of the treatments for this is to use Hyssop because, for one, it impacts the vagus nerve, and two, it helps to loosen the diaphragm and it starts to open up the spine and spinal cord, right? So lots of things are happening, not just you're smelling something that's good for your lungs, right? So this is what I'd like you to do. Start taking long, slow, deep breaths. You know, you're holding the bottle about an inch from your nose, and you're taking long, slow, deep breaths, and your awareness is on your lungs. Just long, slow, deep breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay, and then just pause for a moment and just notice how you feel. How does your body feel, your emotions, your mind? Now, continue with that inhalation, exhalation, and your awareness is on your liver, which is on the right-hand side below your ribs. You're putting your awareness on your liver. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then stop and be still for a second. Now, this next little spot, you're going to go to like where your midline is, right below your ribs, and just come over to the right about 2 inches or so. So you're 2 inches off your midline to the right, below the ribs. And in that area, just take some long, slow, deep breaths. Okay, take a few more long, slow, deep breaths with the Hyssop. And then just let it go for a moment. Your awareness is down on your kidneys, down in your lower back area, your kidneys. Take some long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness down in that area. And then just pause and be still. Your awareness is on the left side of your body below the ribs, that spleen area. On the left hand side below your ribs. And then pause and be still. Now, this next one is a little bit more personal towards you. An area in your body that is maybe degenerating, achy, painful, causes you discomfort. Basically, it's not necessarily to treat the pain in the area, but we want to calm down that kind of fight flight response that comes from a degenerative area or a painful area. So, whatever area in your body that feels kind of like a little put your awareness on that spot and start taking long, slow, deep breaths. We'll do this a couple times. So if you have multiple spots, we'll hit a couple of different spots. And then just pause for a moment. And then again, either that same spot or a different spot, just inhale. Okay, and then just pause and be still. Check in with your spine. Go to the area in your spine where you feel a tight area, like a glitch, a heaviness, a denseness, a tightness. Wherever that is, you're just observing it and then inhaling the oil into that spot. And then be still. How's that feel for you? Yeah. Okay, notice how you feel. Your body, your emotions, your mind. You're what? You feel a little bit more relaxed. Not sleepy, but like a little bit more relaxed, right? So energetically, one of the things that Hyssop does, besides what we were talking about with the vagus nerve and the medulla, is if you just looked at it clairvoyantly, very activating to the heart, very activating to the crown, right? So your a lot of times meditations will start to open up the heart. The energy from the heart will move up to the crown and activate the crown. If you look at it from a physiological point of view, if there's cardiovascular issues, there starts to be brain issues, like the brain's not getting enough blood. So there is a physical correspondence, there's an energetic correspondence, right? If you have enough blood flow going to the brain functions more properly. If there is blockages in the heart where there's imbalances in circulation, it starts to affect the brain. Same with the energy. Like if the energy of the heart chakra isn't functioning properly, then the brain starts to not function properly, or the crown doesn't function properly. So we kind of went through and we did this, but now let's benefit with using a little of some breathing, but without the oils, right? We're going to go through and just do a little thing, but without oils. So watch me for a second, and then we're all going to do it together, okay? So different traditions will call this different things, right? But basically, it's the cultivation of what you would call sustained awareness, right? So we call it Lama Yoga. Sometimes they call it turtle breath, Dhyana. It's even a practice in like Zen practices. But basically, it's just stimulating, not focus, but awareness. Okay, so it goes like this. You're going to empty out your lungs, and your chin goes down. And then you're slowly going to bring your head up, inhaling through the nose. And then you're going to exhale out the mouth, slowly moving your head down. In, out. In, out. In, out. So you usually try to do it about 7 times. Now, one of the benefits is this motion combined with the breath stimulates maybe not the right word, fortifies cerebral spinal fluid circulation, right? So that's 1. 2, as you do this motion, you're drawing energy from your lower centers and you're moving it up high to your upper centers. Basically, you're being less driven by the lower nature, more driven by the higher nature, right? Then, even deeper, the center here is awareness. The center between the eyebrows is focus, right? So as you do this motion, what you're doing is you're activating the center when your head is down here, and then when your head is back, you're also activating the back head version of it, right? And so when these two things become activated, it actually breaks down negative thinking. You know how like you'll have a repetitive thought in your head, like, I think this negative thing about myself or about whoever, or I can't let go of something from the past. This motion actually helps stimulate the part of the mind that will break it down and let it go, right? Now, if you were to look at, I don't know, some side of scientific device where you looked at what was happening with the brain, when your head is down, the right side of your brain is activated. When your head is up, the left side of your brain is activated. So by going back and forth, you're starting to stimulate the movement between the two sides of the brain, right? So you're harmonizing logic and intuition, right? So you're kind of beginning to organize the mind to a certain extent, right? So let's do this all together. Put your head down. And then inhale, moving your head up. Exhale down. Inhale 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 up. Exhale down. Just be still for a moment. Let your head kind of go back to its normal resting position, but keep your eyes closed. Just be aware. Start with just being aware of your body. Not judging it. You just go, my body feels good. This area feels good. This area feels bad. Whatever it is, you're just observing. Be aware of your spine. If there's a spot, pay attention to it. If not, your awareness is on the whole spine. And let's do that again. Chin down to your chest. Inhale, moving your head up. Exhale, moving your head down. Inhale up. Exhale 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 down. Just be still. Keep your eyes closed. Now, why don't you pick up the bottle of Hyssop and just take some long, slow, deep breaths. Just direct it anywhere in your body where there's some discomfort. Okay, put the bottle down for a second. Again, chin down to your chest. Inhale, moving your head up. Exhale, down. Inhale 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 up. Exhale, down. Okay, be still. Be aware. Put your awareness on some part of your body you wish for healing. It could also be something emotional, a feeling, a pattern in your life, a thought, a person, some event. Just keep your eyes closed and just observe the situation while I use some mantra just to bring in a little energy or light into the situation. You're maintaining your awareness. Tatsavitur Barinium Bargo Devasha Dimahi Dio Yona Prakshodayat. Om Bhuvah Swa Tatsavitur Barinium Bargo Devasha Dimahi Dio Yona Prakshodayat. Just be still. Again, continue to focus on whatever the issue is. Your awareness is on your feet. Just meditate on your feet. Om Bhuvah Swa Tatsavitur Barinium Bargo Devasha Dimahi Dio Yona Prakshodayat. Tatsavitur Barinium Bargo Devasha Dimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. Put your chin down to your chest. Inhale, moving your head up. Exhale, down. Inhale, 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 up. Exhale, down. Just be still. Just let go. And gently just kind of move your body around. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You guys have already been sitting for a while, so I don't want to make you sit for ages. How do you feel? A little more relaxed, a little bit of something. What's that? So tonight was just like a little non-specific thing. It's just kind of fun to play with. And,
We're talking 2 hours.
did we really? Okay. She said we told you 2 hours. How about get up, move your body around, take a little 5-minute break or something. We'll come back. We'll do round 2. I can easily do 2 hours. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, I did review, so, but we told them. So,
It's very unclear how much time she said now. She didn't.
yeah. So, it's a good break. If someone needs to go, they can go. And
I moved the line around.
it's so much better.
Yeah,
It was
I saw
significant.
Okay.
Yeah, and it
But,
still works for in here too.
Yeah.
So it's great both ways. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Oops, look, the amp came with it.
Did you say what the bean was? That might be Mahakala. Could be Palm.
Could be what?
It's a Dharma protector. I just don't know which Dharma protector.
No, I don't know. You don't. I don't think.
I think it's Mahakala.
Maha.
Yeah. So this right here is actually a purba. You know what we were talking about? Oh, you know what that probably is? Because it's a purba. It's Gompo. It's the wrathful side of Padmasambhava. That's what that is.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you see like a lot of the purbas, like the old ones will just have a shaft, but a little bit later they kind of sometimes have like a little dorje carved in, but at the top it'll have like 3 faces, and they all look like Arr. Gompo is the wrathful side of Padmasambhava, like the wrathful side, like Mahakala is the wrathful side of like Kuan Yin or Manjushri. They're the Dharma protectors. They're like the ones that do the like, I'm gonna clean this shit up.
Right.
Like what you would use for exorcisms, like what you would use for purifications. And, yeah, that's very nice.
It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are you bringing into this house?
Yeah, no, it's very nice. And so the skull represents wisdom.
The what does?
The skull, like down here,
Yeah, it represents what?
wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah, the cultivation of wisdom. Like you see in like a lot of the Tibetan traditions, there's like skulls or bones or like a skeleton, and it symbolizes wisdom, but it's also like on a deeper level, it's the purification of the bone marrow, which is where the lower nature and the ego reside. Like we think of the ego as in the head, it's in the bone marrow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, kind of interesting. That's beautiful. Yeah, but he scored. Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah. But you sometimes can get purbas. They're not usually going into a skull, but they'll have the purba and it will rest in a stand a lot like this, and then you pull it out, you use it, and then you put it back.
Oh.
Yeah, usually I travel with
So
them.
we just like have it.
For
shelf.
yeah, that's not something that's to bring energy to a room. That's not necessarily something you would use like in your hand, or you would put it on your altar, you would put it in a room, you would put it like if you were going to do an exorcism, you would stick it somewhere key in the place.
You put it on the altar.
Yeah, you could. In the Tibetan tradition, yeah, because Dharma protectors are like they're the ones that protect like the teachings and the deities and the spiritual practitioners. Like they're like you could say like lower beings turn the good. So they're like the tough guys. Like if you see they look a little scary, but it's because they're getting rid of like evil. Like yeah, they're the like you could say
in the center of the house, like by my fireplace.
Wherever you want like purification to be like a little bit of a thing, clean up a space, clean up like a person. Like if you had somebody over and you're like, oh, I don't know, like go just stick it somewhere like close to their vicinity and it would have an impact. Yeah, very cool.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I thought I'm like, what?
Right, yeah. No, that's very
I'm
cool.
glad he brought it up.
Yeah.
I would never.
Right. Yeah. How did that go? Yeah, I'm okay. Got my outdoor slippers on.
I saw that.
How did you do? Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, do you want to do that right now or after the session? Let's do it after the session. Perfect. Yeah, you got it. I'll get all your information that way. Oh, nice to meet you. How are you? Super nice to meet you.
I'm just losing around. And
Oh, okay. That's good. I'm gonna grab some water and then we can get back.
Sure. Yeah, I just want them to be able to stretch their legs. So.
Are you kidding?
oh,
How'd you do? Good? Little Dion with Hyssop.
yeah, I just noticed a lot of release in the spine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how are you doing after the car accident?
You know, I was just going to tell you, it's a year.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a while.
On the 12th.
Oh, really?
Tomorrow.
Like, so a year
Tomorrow.
almost to the day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was a crazy time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then my daughter and
Yeah, it's like,
Which one was
Wow.
first?
my accident.
Your accident was first.
so you know how like you always get a little bit of a karmic acceleration, like being, you know, you go up in neurotic or something.
Mm-hmm.
Every year when I would get a higher level of orthotic, I'd go into my Saturn phase, usually like 2 or 3 days before the orthotic class. So like every like November, December was just like, okay, what's going to happen today? Like, okay, my car got hit. What about this? Okay, like, you know, it was just one thing after
When's
another.
your birthday?
December 22nd. And
Okay.
so
Mine's
Master was
November 3rd, so
so
I'll be
yeah.
coming into mine
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I was like,
very soon. And I can remember those days where it was just like every day it was something. I was like, oh, those are rough times.
yeah. So yeah. But the fact that she spent her accident was like from my birthday into her birthday, November 14th.
And is she doing okay?
She's doing okay.
Yeah.
I mean, my acupuncturist here in town did some kinesiology on her with some standard process supplements, and you know, and they were trying to regulate her heart, but her heart is kind of fine. And she was kind of saying it's the detoxing of her liver that she, you know, that would regulate her blood and everything like that. So she came to visit. She didn't drink while she was here. I'm hoping she's kind of staying away from it out there.
Might have been a good enough scare. You never know.
I'm hoping so. You know.
So we've been
Then she
good.
just had
Greg and
her
I
dog
just
died,
just
really
Mm.
emotionally upset her, you know, and so anyway, she's had a lot of
maybe once
emotional hits, you
Mhm.
know.
So
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah,
So-
I like it.
I mean,
it's good.
she's
It's
out there
been good
working.
now
She seems a
getting
little
She's in
calmer.
San Francisco?
traveling and doing
She's in
yeah.
Tahoe, like
Oh,
South Lake
wow.
Tahoe.
Oh.
It
Yeah,
was not.
her job's still stressful. She's back at her job, you know,
Great
and
to keep connected.
you know, so she's you
Yeah,
know,
I
she's
feel like
back in
it's-
her life,
Yeah.
you know. But I think she's doing
Pretty place.
pretty good. Yeah.
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 Yeah, little-ish anyway. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What was your name again? Dixie. Dixie. Yes, that's exactly. Yeah. It's so good to see you. Like you said, it's been a long time.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Doing good.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you again.
You guys are traveling again, huh?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, not like the old days.
That's
but
what she was just
yeah,
saying.
Yeah. The old days, it was 48 weekends out of the year, and now
Was it
it's
that much?
oh yeah, it was great. Because like holidays, I would just go out of country. But yeah, so yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Every Saturday.
Yeah.
Pop in.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Someday maybe I'll just take half the workshop.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe you could come on Sunday if you wanted.
Someday I might come in and just take half.
Things have been good for you though. Like everything's going good, and yeah,
Hanging in there.
good.
Moving along.
Yeah.
Since
The-
I saw, during COVID. I had moved
Yeah, the
some
COVID
time.
thing like really scrambled everybody.
Oh, like physically? Oh, yeah. That's a lot of energy to do that.
Well, and you know what was funny? I realized, because I think it was your last workshop in 2020, up there at that hotel.
Mhm.
And it was in January,
Yeah, right before,
right?
right, yeah.
I came out of that workshop and I started to get sick.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, it's just from the
Oh, I
oil.
remember,
Right, yeah.
I wasn't there,
The
but I remember when you got sick then.
Yeah.
Somebody was sick in there. I just caught
Right.
a cold from them.
Yeah.
That was my COVID
Yep.
before it came out.
Yeah. Because if I remember right, like, because I didn't have to start canceling classes till the end of March,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
like we were hearing about it, but I was like, I don't know, whatever.
Right.
There's always something that somebody's
yeah.
like,
Yeah. Well, that's
And
why I
then
said
March, it was like, wait, this is kind of real.
Yeah.
Whatever version of it is.
Yeah. So that's what was funny. I thought, oh, I'm just getting sick after being around all this people.
Yeah, that was a crazy time.
Detoxing. Boom, I had it.
Yeah. Hmm. How'd you do? Yeah.
I was asking about indigestion. I have a friend who just had surgery on their esophagus
Mm.
because they have slow digestion.
Mhm,
It's a condition. I can't pronounce it. But anyway, and she had a hernia too that was complicated.
Yeah,
with
I'm
use.
real
So she's
happy
on a
with
liquid
it.
diet
We
for 6
have
weeks now.
a couple other ones.
And
That one's an HD.
there's some
It doesn't hold
keto,
on
but
6
would
weeks.
this oil be good for that?
I mean, it would help. It wouldn't be like the top 10 things that I would use for that. Like, again, peppermint could be okay. Peppermint's good also because it's like a general body stimulant, and stimulant just means it stimulates the processes. It's not like caffeine. It just makes things work better. But the one that might actually work better for somebody like that is cinnamon, and just inhaling it. And cinnamon is also a general body stimulant. It just makes everything function better, but it really helps the movement of the digestive tract to like improve. And peppermint, it does, but not like cinnamon does. Yeah, I think cinnamon actually would be a better choice. If we don't, we can ship it to you. We might have a little bit, probably not here, but if we do, I can send it with Regina.
Okay.
Do you see her often, or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I teach
Yeah, okay. Yeah, if we have it, we'll send it over. So, yeah.
I'm used to reading the note in and out.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
There's a lot of different.
Yeah.
I'll take care of everything.
So what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a crystal that I was using to just direct energy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A guy in his tools.
We have a tool, like one of those, like a toolbox, like a big one. And the girls are like, oh, let me go grab a tool, like a physical, like wrench. And they go in, it's like his crystals,
Right.
Yeah.
his like things. And I'm like, yep, that's his toolbox.
Yes, my toolbox.
My toolbox is next to it with the screwdrivers, with the hammer.
Each had their place.
Exactly.
How did you do? Yeah, doing good.
And Greg, I'm gonna get this sent, and then I say, let's get into part 2, and
What are you saying?
I'm sending the link to everybody for this weekend's class. That way it's not too late.
Will you be giving us your card?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I probably have some cards somewhere, but if not, we can just have her give you that. Yeah. Hey, how are you? Life's been treating you well?
I have a torn meniscus and I was focused
Ooh.
on that.
Yeah.
It's not terrible because I just had a treatment limp.
Right.
But while I was doing that, I was like, oh, okay.
That's good. How's things been otherwise?
A little crazy.
Yeah.
My mom, I've been helping my mom for a couple of years. So,
Is she doing okay? Or?
well, she bounces back every time. She just turned 94.
Oh,
So
wow.
she's had a couple of serious problems.
Yeah.
And then she bounces back, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Never breathe some of that Hyssop.
Yeah, there you go.
I love this.
Yeah, isn't it something
I
nice?
love the oil. So I was gonna give my sister some
Huh?
when she was here. She's like, I had her smell a couple that were beneficial.
Mhm.
She's like, I like lavender.
Yeah,
Well, that's nice.
right.
That would be my
had her
response.
some of the other ones. And she was like, no. I'm so used to them.
Mhm.
I love all of them.
I know. You're like, this just
I'm like,
hits
oh,
me
what's
nice.
this?
Yeah, totally.
Even I had her try Moses, and I said, this is a recipe from ancient.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that smell. I'm like, okay. Go get you some lavender then.
Yeah. Well, you know, like teaching in person, like, you know, like I'm watching the group and like, you know, especially in the old days when I was teaching every weekend, and it's a crack up because you'd see one person like, like it's just like they're in heaven. And then you look to the other side of the room and they're like complete opposite, same
I
oil.
remember when we first started, some of the oils were a little intense.
Yeah.
But now, even helichrysum I like.
Yeah. Nice.
Even those ones we weren't too
Even
far.
helichrysum,
Yeah.
that I thought smelled like an old shoe.
Yeah.
And anyway. And you're both well?
Yeah, just plugging along. You know, we do more by Zoom these days than by, but we kind of miss like going from place to place a bit. So we're trying to do a little bit more in person stuff.
Well, I gotta work
Yeah.
this weekend, but I wanted to come in and say hi.
Yeah, it's super good to see you.
Yeah, glad to meet
Nice
you
to
too.
meet you.
Yeah.
I always read and I try to get some other people to come on.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome.
They're missing out.
Yeah.
Come for the
And
experience.
so I remember I used Hyssop when we were here whatever location.
Mm-hmm.
Hyssop in Artemisia for dreams.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can use it for going to sleep. You can use it for all kinds of things.
Mhm.
It's a very versatile oil.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that you mentioned lavender because one of the things that we would give away sometimes in situations like this is lavender. And they were like, I'm tired of the lavender thing. Let's do
I
his.
love mine.
I do too, but like I also like to mix it up. It seems always a little too basic for me
Yeah, I was
sometimes.
trying to give her something because she's got stage 0 breast cancer and she wants to do some deep relaxation.
Mhm.
It's okay. You know, she'll start with that and then I'll
Mhm.
have her experiment with some
Like
Mhm.
kids or just
When
like
Oh, sorry to hear about the breast cancer.
Yeah, should have.
She's they caught it early.
Yeah, good.
She'll be
Very treatable. They're really good at treating that these
she's
days.
very fortunate.
Very good at treating.
Well, I'm glad you
Yeah, super good to see you.
in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
You talked to Anthony after some.
Yeah, you know, especially she'll Zoom with me, you know, or not Zoom. What's the Marco Polo? You know, it's like a video texting where he'll leave a video and then she gives a video and it goes back and forth. So, you know, I get to hear from him kind of more through their interaction. But yeah, he sounds like he's doing good and he's happy and
it was, I've never seen him so stressed out.
Yeah.
Regina and I were helping him pack,
I bet.
and I have never, ever seen him like that.
Yeah.
It was, even when he got there, he's like, I actually wondered if I should have done this. But now he's good.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty
You're in
happy.
touch with Anthony?
Yeah, talked to him today, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
nice.
think he's happy. So, except that Ecuador's kind of funky right now. Politically,
I'd say the world's kind of funky these days, though.
it is. I went and heard an art presentation last night. This guy's they call it multi-hyphenate because he does poetry, direction, teaching, writing, prose. And somehow climate change came up, and he goes, you know what? Stick with your tribe, stay healthy and happy. And that's what we can do. You know, we don't know what's going to happen. Just stay happy. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah,
sounds pretty good.
yeah. I would agree.
Stay with your people, keep everybody safe. That's all.
I'd love to come tomorrow.
Mhm.
So good to see you.
Oh, she wants to talk about tomorrow. Yeah. Perfect.
Cool.
She'll give you directions and everything.
So, yeah. Sounds good. I think I have the class here, and I have the kids with me at the place.
So, how's everybody doing? Okay. We're gonna do a little something a little different. Another thing, in the Old Testament, a type of healing was given by Moses, and it's given in a bunch of metaphors and symbolism and everything, but basically it was to heal conditions that were considered like karmic issues or things where the basic chakra would be really dirty, like really, really super dirty. So in the old days, that would be like leprosy and things like that. Even though it's a bacterial infection, is it bacterial or viral? I can't remember. Bacterial. I think it's bacterial. But it still utilizes some of the things that we're talking about, but there's a slight variation. And basically what you're doing is you inhale the hyssop with your awareness on the heart, and then you go down to your navel. And you inhale on your navel, and then you go to the top of your head, and then you let go. But you do it several cycles. And what this does is it has a very deep cleansing effect on the energy body, the aura, which is the energetic mold or blueprint. And when you go through and you treat the aura, it's having an impact on a certain part of the nervous system. And so we'll do a version of that. So kind of like how we were doing before, like if you have a bad shoulder, a bad hip, a bad knee, you kind of think about it, but this is like a very general way, like non-specific, to use the energy of the oils to potentially heal a particular condition, right? And so I'll couple this with also doing a little bit of healing on you guys, and a little bit of mantra and everything, but usually they chase me out after about an hour. So I was like, yeah, we'll do an hour and 15 minutes, but we have a little longer time. So I'll play as long as you guys want. So what I'd like you to do, and it could be physical, it could be psychological, it could be, a relationship, it could be whatever you want, Just like kind of think about it. And the idea of thinking about it is it kind of brings it to the surface. So like whatever energy gets generated and then also displaced is very specific to what you're trying to treat. So if you go like, okay, there's this jerk at work. Okay, there is my shoulder. Okay, there is this pattern of, something in the family. There's whatever. Like just think about it for a minute or two. It kind of brings it up so that whatever you start to do, even though it's non-specific, it starts to hit the things that's at the surface first. So whatever's in your conscious awareness usually starts to go that way. Because if you even think about like, oh, my shoulder hurts, that's in your conscious awareness. Even though it might be in the back of your head, it's still kind of always there. If it wasn't hurting, you're not thinking about your knee if it's not hurting, unless it's like gone to sleep or, something like that. But the things that you're thinking about is, you could say, it's almost like an unconscious or subconscious way of directing it, like how we did the thing with the arms. You're doing it with kind of almost being a little bit more fixated on it because it's a discomfort, right? It's something that is causing you an issue. And so you can do that manually, or it just will go to whatever is kind of bugging you. You know what I mean? Be it conscious or unconscious. So just take a moment and just think about it for a moment. You're not gonna have to share anything or something. You can go and think about whatever you'd like. Okay. Now, pull out your bottle of hyssop. And begin inhaling, and your awareness is just on the center of your chest, the front heart, like just the center of your chest. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the center of your chest. And then let the inhalation go for a moment. Move your awareness to your navel and start taking long, slow, deep breaths. And then move your awareness to your head, the top of your head. Long, slow, deep breaths. And then just be still. Keep your eyes closed and just be still. And again, begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your heart. You're still taking long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the heart. You're inhaling the hyssop. Your awareness is on your navel. Long, slow, deep breath. Your awareness is on your navel. And then move your awareness to the crown, the top of your head. And then just be still. Be aware, just let everything go. Keep your eyes closed. Just be still. Om Rama. Begin inhaling again. Your awareness is on the heart, the center of the chest. Move your awareness to your navel, taking long, slow, deep breaths. And then move your awareness to the crown. You're taking long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware, just let go. Begin inhaling again. Your awareness is on your heart. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on your heart, center of your chest. Your awareness is on your navel. Your awareness is on your crown. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Just pause and be still. Just be still. Shri Mahakala Hum Fa Om Shri Mahakala Hum Fa Om Shri Mahakala Hum Fa Let's try it again. Inhale with your awareness on the heart. Your awareness is on your navel. Your awareness is on your crown. Your awareness is on your crown. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Just let go. Just keep your eyes closed. Just let go. Whatever area in your body or whatever you wish for healing, just put your attention on it right now, just for a little bit. Om Namo Rama. Om. Om Namo Rama. Om. Om Namo Om. Okay, gently go ahead and move yourself around, move your body around. Yeah, how's that for you? How's everybody feel? Do you feel like you took a chill pill? Who can't use a little of that these days? Feels kind of nice, yeah? You know, part of the thing is if you calm down certain parts of the nervous system, it helps ease the pain, it helps accelerate healing. So sometimes, I'm super guilty of this. Like, we do meditation, we do mantra, there's all different kinds of meditation, but even energy work. And we see it as like, oh, we're trying to do something to make the body do this or that, or, have whatever experience. When you're actually doing it, it's not separate. But like, at least in my mind, always like, I'm doing this and maybe it will impact the nervous system, or maybe it will impact whatever. When you're doing it, it's not impacting it. It is it's an integrated process. It's something in motion. It's not separate except for the way we think about it. And so one of the ways to really deepen meditation is to work on certain parts of the nervous system. When you work on certain parts of the nervous system, it deepens your meditation. Like it's a chicken and egg thing. It doesn't really matter. You just start working it, and your mind, a lot of what we call chatter in our head or monkey mind is actually neurological, just neurology. You calm down some of the neurology, the chatter goes away. It's not something in your psyche. It's not some emotion emotions get generated, don't get me wrong, but it's not the source. The source is actually, a lot of it's neurology. Immune system sometimes, endocrine system sometimes, but here we're just talking neurology. But how was your guys' experiences? Everybody had good feelings, and yeah, I heard a couple of bottles drop, and for me, that's the biggest compliment, because that means you're letting go and you're physically letting go. So I was like, I got one. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, you guys. We really didn't have like an agenda tonight. I just want to come hang out with Regina and some of the people that I used to see when we come here. Just thought we'd have a good time and hang out and do something. What's that?
Glad you did.
Yeah, me too. Usually we fly in on Fridays, and so we flew in yesterday, so we had a little extra time. So I was like, we got to start doing this on a regular basis. This is what